It is a widespread but unacknowledged problem that girls in Africa miss school and stay at home because of menstruation. According to UNICEF, more than 1.2 million primary school-age children in Kenya, which has a population of 50 million, do not attend school at all. Period. Poverty, being unable to work or attend to school because of lack of funds for sanitary products, is making life even harder for the girls. But the Ansar Welfare Association, a non-profit organization, decided to tackle this problem head-on recognizing the importance of menstrual health and launched a groundbreaking initiative to distribute sanitary pads.
Our kind message to the general public is that this foundation is charitable and non-profitable, and whatever you pay to it will find you in the year after, inshallah. So we are planning to hold our second phase sanitary pad distribution. Kindly, we humbly request your support to make this organization to run smooth and to put a smile on the face of less privileged members of our community.
The Ansar Welfare Association now expands its reach by partnering local schools and communities to ensure that every girl has access to proper menstrual hygiene products.
Sanitary pad is a very important component of health in terms of menstrual hygiene. Menstrual hygiene is part of health. If we manage our sanitary pads at our schools, I think it is very important. One of the key important of menstrual hygiene is accessibility to water and sanitation. I think there is stigma in our society. Most of people, when our girls seek for menstrual pads, they took it negatively. I think there is a bad perception in our community. I think we have to shun that ideology. This is a very important noble initiative. It will help our girls not to miss their classes, not to drop out of schools, because most of our community, our society are not the same. There are people who can afford to buy sanitary pads. There are people who can't afford. I think our brothers and sisters from Ansar did a very noble work through their own way. They bought these sanitary pads behind me to caution these vulnerable girls who cannot afford to buy these important kits.
Through their dedication and compassion, Ansar are making lasting impacts on lives of young girls and empowering them to reach their full potential. Now, with organizations like Ansar leading the way, the world is one step closer to achieving gender equality and ensuring that no girl is left behind.
It has been long since we received the sanitary towels, sanitary pads for our girls. It's almost a year. And I have 384 girls in this school. For a year, we have never received the pads. Most of sometimes the girls absent themselves. There is the issue of truancy, because a girl comes in a week, at least in every class, from class 4 to grade class 8 and then grade 7, because we are also hosting the junior secondary schools. At least in all the classes, there are girls who are absent every day, just because of the problem with the issue of sanitary pads because of the menstruation flow. We are really appreciative. I personally am very appreciative with the Ansar Welfare Association for at least giving 100 girls. That's great. 100 girls to our school that they have provided them with the sanitary towels. We really appreciate, and I urge them to continue the same spirit and even to add more, because I have 300, and as I said, I have 384 girls. So today I have received 100. I say thank you so much. Tomorrow Al Ansar, I also urge them and request them also to add more. So I pray for them so that they can get at least a sponsor who can help them. I know these are young men and women who are just struggling. They don't have a proper funding, I hope so. So I request the other non-governmental organizations like the county government and other organizations to help this organization so that they can give them, at least to give them a helping hand to help this organization so that the same organization can help us. This is a young welfare coming up. I urge especially the county government to help this Al Ansar Welfare Society Association so that they can help us also.
Otherwise, you are giving back to society as Al Ansar Welfare Association. We are really indebted to your services, and you have already given back to societies where you are hailed from. It's not your first time. You have been assisting this in giving out iftar programs, and inshallah ta'ala, we anticipate that you continue rendering this service to humanity, because it has been said, history is made by men and women who bestow posterity with wisdom far beyond their times. With that, we pray to Allah so that He's going to nourish and take forward applicable your association.
The locals and the teachers here, strongly attracted by Al Ansar's effort, expressing their warm approvals, asked other organizations and elected leaders to more or less emulate Al Ansar's path. Now, with organizations like Al Ansar leading the way, the world will only be one step closer to achieving gender equality and ensuring that no girl is left behind.
I'm very much grateful for this Al Ansar welfare for considering these girls. One thing, by distribution of these pads, mostly these girls come from a community that are vulnerable. Most of these girls miss schools, they miss lessons, and this leads to an impact of poor performance in schools. By distribution of these pads, these girls are happy. First of all, they can now come to school, they can stay comfortably in school, because by distribution of these pads, it has removed what we call menstrual trauma. These girls can now freely attend lessons, they can freely move up and down without having any trauma when it comes to menses. So for the Al Ansar group, we are very much grateful for considering this school, and we really hope that you're going to continue distributing these pads, because it has really made a very big impact to these girls. Thanks a lot for coming.
Today we have received pads from the Al Ansar Welfare Association. We say thank you so much, because we were so much in need of it. There are a lot of girls who cannot afford those sanitary pads, and we had issues where girls miss lessons because of these pads. Some students will come to the staff room, talk to us, the madams, asking for pads. Sometimes we buy for them because the school doesn't have it.
We thank you for coming here, because as Ladeni fraternity, we have never get such essential items. This being our first time, we appreciate you so much, and it is our prayer that next time you will come again. In this place, there are families which are below poverty level. So some families cannot afford to buy to their ladies these sanitary pads. So sometimes you'll find out that there's a lot of absenteeism.
My name is Hanifa Afteen, and I would just like to thank you for giving us these pads, and we appreciate what you have done.
We are glad to have all of you in our school today. We really appreciate Ansar organization at large for giving us pads and advice. Thanks a lot and welcome to